This episode is brought to you by eBay Authenticity Guarantee. eBay knows that when it comes to jewelry, authenticity is the real gem. When you see the blue check mark that says Authenticity Guarantee, it means your next piece will be carefully inspired by jewelry experts and will always be worth its weight in gold. Whether you're looking to make a statement or build the perfect everyday look, eBay is making sure you get the real deal. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can trust that jaw-dropping piece will always arrive jaw-droppingly real. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms. This episode is brought to you by Visible. Maybe you've already let your New Year's resolution slip. We all have, but you can still make a 2 year's resolution with Visible. Right now, you can get a one-line wireless plan from Visible for just $20 per month for 24 months. 24 months is basically 4 Bachelor seasons. That could be 4 engagements, 4 broken engagements. So many other couples we didn't see coming. It's really an eternity in Bachelor Nation. And that's unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon with no annual contracts. Switch now at Visible.com and use the code VISIBLE24. Don't miss out. Offer ends January 31st. New members only. Promotional rate with service on the Visible plan. For additional terms and network management practices, see Visible.com. Welcome to Bachelor Party. I'm Juliet and Litman. I'm here with Callie Curry. Hi, Callie.
Hello.
Today we are talking about The Bachelor and Love Island because this is Bachelor Party. But full disclosure, Callie and I have already spent 10 minutes talking about Tom Sandoval, stupid Raquel, and all the Vanderpump drama. I mean, this is not going away, and we will continue to talk about it. But if you're interested in that, or you're like, what's going on? I want to know. Please head over to the Ringer Reality TV podcast where Rachel Lindsay, Jody Walker, and I broke it down on Saturday. And it was pretty fun. It was a good time. Anyway.
Also, there's probably going to be more pods to come because it seems like more information just keeps coming out. You can't keep up.
Oh my God. I just hate Tom Sandoval. So I hate Sandoval. I hate Schwartz. I hate Raquel. I hate a lot of people. I hate Sandoval the most though.
I hate all 3 of them too, but not in that order. But yeah, Sandoval 1. And Raquel's like 1B. It's not that big of a difference. But yeah. I'll go 1B for Raquel.
I just think Sandoval is so fucking disrespectful. It's just like unfathomable that you would treat someone who you allegedly called your partner this way. It's just sick.
For 10 years.
I hate him. Fuck that
guy. For 10 years. But also, I've told you this before we jumped on here, but the interviews in the past week have been haunting me. And I watched Raquel on Chicks in the Office. And she says Ariana is one of her only true friends and one of the only ones that were accepting of her from day one. And I'm like, how do you fix your mouth to say that when you're in a 7-month affair with her boyfriend of 10 years?
You just have to be so deep in your own bullshit that you believe that you just lose the plot completely. I don't know. Raquel, I said it before. I'll say it again. I don't feel bad about it. She is dumb. So who even knows what rationalizations she is subjecting herself to? Fuck you, Sandoval, though. I'm so pissed at you. I know. It's just whatever. This whole thing is crazy. On that note, let's talk about The Bachelor. I think it's really weird that they were all so excited to be in Budapest, Hungary. Hungary, first of all, is low-key a very controversial place. I just want to note that. And they were like, wow, it's so magical here. And I was just like, has anyone ever read a single news story about Hungary?
Doesn't seem like it. Also, they even said, was it Brooklyn or Katie? I don't know. Whoever, I don't know. One of them obviously got their second one-on-one and they were like, such a good city. And I'm like, is it? How do you know?
Oh yeah. No. Someone said it. You're right. They're like, it's such a good city. And it's like, have you guys been here before?
Yeah. I was like, that's random. I get even if you haven't been to London, enough people talk about it. There's enough pop culture surrounding it that you have an image of London in your head if you have a brain cell. Raquel, probably not, but everyone else probably. No one has that at Budapest.
I couldn't tell you anything about it.
Me either.
But now we know that it is the birthplace of magic per Zach. I need to fact check that. And also they're really into community bath. Yeah. Which we're going to come back to. Where do you want to start? I was like, should we talk about Kat leaving? Because that was a huge shock. But at least it was to me. I don't know. We also talked about the bath. I know you're going to have a lot of opinions about it.
Yeah. I mean, well, I'll start here. Once they came in and I realized, and they said the group date names, and Brooklyn was left off for the one-on-one date, my first thought was, damn, Brooklyn's going home this week.
Interesting. I'm like, I might be a Raquel. I didn't even occur to me. I was surprised by Kat, and I was like quasi surprised by Brooklyn, but not entirely though. But it didn't. I wasn't thinking that he gave her the one-on-one to see if he wanted to move forward with her. Because I would not use my one-on-ones that way. I would use them with people I'm like, I know I want more time with you.
Obviously, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, down to 4.
Based on what we know, Brooklyn is not his top connection. Like, she's not in the top 3. She's definitely in the bottom 3. He had to eliminate, well, I guess Greer, if you want to count that. He had to eliminate 3 people. So right when she got selected, I was like, she has to go home. Like, I knew immediately, I'm like, damn, that sucks. I really like Brooklyn.
Me too.
Really like Brooklyn. And I think even like throughout the date, the music was happy. Usually they like slowly bring in bad news to let you know they're going home. And the music was happy. And I was just like, oh God, this is going to be such a blindside for her. Like, not that she hears the music, but from watching it, I was just like, they're not leading her to believe that she's going home. Like, everything was going good on the date. It was the worst date ever imaginable for me, but everything was going good for her and Zach. And then the conversation of her family was too compelling that I think it really fucked with Zach.
Yeah, he was like, I can't do this.
Yeah, I think he maybe thought it was just going to be a normal conversation. He could send her home pretty easily, but she just comes across so genuine. The love for her grandpa, like, if you didn't feel
so
that,
sweet.
then like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. So there was a split second there where I was like, uh-oh, you might have to keep her. She's outperforming. Like, she was doing so, like, obviously she was being herself, but it's hard to like hurt people like that.
Yeah. And I think he struggles with it. He obviously was a lot of emotion this week. The funny thing about Zach is like, he doesn't seem interested in like the family aspect. Whenever someone's like sort of mentions that there's like other people in the equation, he basically like gets freaked out. And I'm curious to see how that goes for him next week. Because obviously it's not the same thing. But when Christina Mandrell brought up her child, he was like really freaked out. And I think the closeness of Brooklyn with her grandfather, he was really freaked out. It's almost like he's better at sort of like filling in where there's a void than he is like joining a family or something. I don't know. I feel like he's just I don't completely understand him still, but he is just clearly has like a lot of emotional hangups, in my opinion.
Which also would make sense for why he's like, Katie, you're perfect. Yeah. I'm going to be what you've never had.
Well, that moment though, when they're standing like on that balcony, or not on a balcony, but like that, like they're like looking over the city of Budapest, and he's like asking her to like share what her favorite color is and like wanting to know like small details about her. I thought that was just frankly really weird. I was just like, what is he trying? Like, what does he think he's missing? Or like, what is he trying to get at? But I was like, it was really, really weird. And then like what he chose to share was his family is like British heritage.
Yeah, what?
And he thought he was like sharing some like deep, dark secret. I don't know. That whole exchange was very weird to me.
Also, he was like, I know it's stupid. She's like, no, it's so interesting. I love it. I love getting to know you.
She also was like, purple. She interrupted him.
But I think she wins.
She's got to. I mean,
yeah.
Okay, so you have 2 one-on-ones and then a group date with 4 people. And by the way, I've been to a mentalist show before, so I look forward to discussing that. I feel like you're probably really into magic, Callie.
I'm not into it.
Yeah, I feel like I could see that. I could see you being like really excited, like a private magic show.
Like, recently
like at a party.
Did that.
You did?
Yeah. And I was like blown away.
I must have known that. You must have told me and I like remember something.
I was trying to get Seth to be into it and he was just like, I'm ready to go home.
Oh, what a downer.
He did one trick and Seth was like, yeah, that's cool. All right, let's go. I was like, what? Aren't you like, what is happening? How is this possible? And he was very much like, meh, there's a reason behind it. I don't really need to know.
I do always want to know, like, how did this happen? Like, how did you do it? But it is still pretty cool.
I asked, did you learn this? or is it like any sort of like
gift.
intuition? And he was like, I learned it. I was like, okay.
At least he was honest. I like it.
Okay.
Anyway, so back to Katie and the 2 1-on-1. So he uses one for a girl he like truly likes and wants to know what her favorite color is and like wants additional time. And it has been a really long time since their 1-on-1 at the museum. And then he uses the other to like eliminate someone who's like kind of on the cusp. And then the other 4, it's just sort of like a grab bag. So she has to win. Like if she doesn't win, I'm really confused. But I went back and I read something about their 1-on-1, which was that she said last week on some podcast that she couldn't sleep. Katie said she couldn't sleep when they were in the museum. And that's just because like she's a bad sleeper. But it seems like he slept really well, or he did sleep. Like she was like, I was up all night, but not because we were like talking or doing anything, and very clearly wanted to make it clear they weren't like having sex or whatever. But that wasn't the case for him. And I was just like, that's weird. I was just like, this is all very bizarre.
Also, I don't think anyone thinks they're having sex. So no worries, Katie.
Yeah.
No sex allowed.
It's clear.
Yeah. No one thinks that.
But yeah, she's got to win. And he, you know, also why I think she wins. We haven't seen this for him before, but when she starts talking about how she lost 2 father figures, basically, he breaks into a whisper and gets really close. He's like, I'm here. Mm-hmm. I got you. I'm here.
Yeah, and she started laughing, which I thought was weird.
I don't think they're going to last, but I agree he did to her. We haven't seen Zach whisper before, so I got to assume it's meaningful. And that's what I'm talking about. He's like excited that he won't have to meet a dad. He's like happy to just like be the man of the house versus having to deal with Brooklyn's grandpa.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes, because whose dad is quizzing him?
I think that was Ariel's dad.
Oh, yeah.
That's not going to go well.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy and excited to watch it, because I think about this all the time. This show, you get engaged after like a total of 8 hours of spending together.
Yeah.
I'm always like, do you even know their last name? Like, do you know if they're lactose intolerant? Do you know? Like, there's just so many things that I'm like, you have no fucking clue who this person is.
He wants to know. He's asking Katie for her favorite color.
And I think it's shocking that people last. But obviously, like, you know.
No, but most don't. Lasted. Very, very few last.
No, yeah. Very few last. But there are people that have lasted.
Yeah.
And I think I probably, if I were on this show, would definitely go the JoJo route, which is like, yeah, I don't know you. So let's date and get to know each other. And then let's get married. I think that's the route I would go. But even then, like, it's just so crazy that people last. But I think that's just like, I think it's just like luck.
Yeah. I think another major key to lasting is stepping away from Bachelor Nation and like doing your own thing, which JoJo and Jordan definitely did. Like they're very, very, they have like friends still, but they're doing their own careers.
Oh yeah, no, they're not even like, I feel like they're like not involved in Bachelor at all.
Yeah.
Like they have their completely own, like they're still semi-famous, or I don't know if that's the word you want to use, but whatever word you want to use, they're still relevant.
Yeah.
But like they're not in the mix.
Yeah. And like
at all.
Rachel and Brian.
Same with Rachel and Brian.
They continue to pursue their careers. Like she went back to being a lawyer, and now she's like, you know, amazing broadcasting career. He's
Ari and Lauren.
Ari and Lauren. Like you need to step away and like do what you're actually going to do for the rest of your life, and like also have sponsored Instagram posts for extra income. But that can't be like your main thing. No shots. I mean, supplementary income is great, but I don't see that. The one thing for Katie and Zach is that she lives in Austin, so maybe that will help them. Like they can go back to regular life without having to move, which I think is actually really good. But yeah, I don't think that they'll last. But with Ariel, I'm selfishly excited for him to interact with Jewish people. I feel like he's probably has very few in his life, so can't wait to see how that goes. I also wonder, like he hasn't really talked about religion at all, but I wonder if that's maybe part of the like no sex thing. But I don't know.
Interesting. It is weird that I don't remember him saying anything with Rachel either, right?
No. So I wonder if they're like
can't be that big of a piece,
cutting it out, or I have no idea.
Huh.
But I'm shocked Ariel made it to Final Four. I really didn't see that coming. But I guess they tried to tell us a couple weeks ago, and he was like, you know what Sean Lowe said about not noticing Catherine right away. That's how I feel about Ariel. So,
but also his conversation with Jesse to start the show, where he was like, I truthfully didn't think it was going to go well. And it went really, really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw Kat edit the past 2 weeks, and then the beginning of this week, I figured she was going home.
For some reason, I still believed. But what do you think it was for him? Just the fact that like last week, when Jess had doubts, she had doubts too, and so he was like, "Fuck, you're out."
Yeah, and then The Mentalist.
Well, yeah, that's when she had her doubts, and she's like, "I think I'm ready for you to meet my family."
I feel like her saying like, "I think," he was just like, "Well, I don't want to go see your family if you think."
Right. He just is like a real absolutist, very black and white. He needs complete affirmation, complete reassurance, and like anything less than that, he's like, "You got to go."
Yep, but doesn't necessarily want to give it to anyone, but he needs it.
Yeah, it's like he's just.
I do think he is affirming certain people. Like
definitely
he
Katie.
has affirmed.
Definitely Gabby.
Katie and Charity.
Yeah.
Those three for sure. Like she even, because obviously The Mentalist wasn't amazing for her. And like he made sure to be like, I see a future with you. This isn't just like, I'm dating you. I see a future with you. And I'm like, that's kind of what Jess wanted and Kat wanted.
Yeah, he just didn't like Jess.
And you just weren't going to give it to them. So I'm like, okay, you just don't see it with them. How old is Kat? She's come across really young the past couple
I think
weeks.
she's 26. I'm pretty sure. Well,
I mean, young, but not like Jess.
Yeah, it's not like 21 or whatever. I think she's come across as just like really, really self-centered, like more than we realized. And yes, she's 26. I've confirmed.
I also love that every time she doesn't get a date rose, she doesn't get picked for one-on-one, she's baffled. She's like, it just doesn't make sense. And I'm like, what about it doesn't make sense? It keeps happening. It makes sense.
Usually it's not that deep. He's just not that into you. That's all you need to say to yourself.
And then also I was like cringing when afterwards I'm like, oh, okay, so now we're at the point where they sit down after they go home.
Mm-hmm.
Even though 2 weeks ago they didn't even get a conversation. They just got a TV message telling them they're going home. But now we're at the point where we sit down. And they sit down and she's just like, why? Why? Can you explain to me why? And I'm like, do you really want to know why?
I do like to know why. If I'm being like broken up with, I like to have a reason. Otherwise, I'm just like, okay. I need to know what I did wrong here. It's never that simple, but like I am definitely like a give me a reason type of gal.
I agree in any other situation. I don't need to know when I'm competing with 5 other girls. I got it.
Right. You like them more than me. It's clear.
Yeah. Like, if it's just a one-on-one situation, we break up, I'm like, yeah, what happened? In this situation, I'm like, okay, it's not me. I don't need to know why. And I don't want to beg for it. Because like, I'm not coming back after you just picked 4 women over me. No.
Right.
Have a nice one. You're lost.
The Jess. I'm not begging. I like
Goodbye.
that.
Yeah.
It's I guess with Kat though, since their one-on-one went so well, I would be like, when did this change for you? Like, that's kind of what my question would be is like, when did this flip? Was it before I said I wasn't sure? Like, were you already feeling that way? And like, we don't know if he's aware at all of like her fighting with Charity. And like, he might be. I doubt it though.
Yeah, no. Also, I'd be like, it flipped literally an episode and a half later. You were doing great. And I don't know what happened, but it went downhill once you started being selfish, which I'm sure rumblings have gotten to him.
She's clearly unstable. Is the other piece of it. You know, it's not like she's like a normal person. I don't think she's cut out for paradise.
Oh my God. She's gonna be a star.
I don't know. She's just like, I feel like she's too bitchy.
She's gonna be crying every other night. People are gonna be fighting. It's gonna be great.
She's bitchy and cold though.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I don't know, is it?
No one, like it'll be good for like people not liking each other. It's not gonna be Love Island. You're not gonna get people being BFFs with her. But you will get drama with her.
Who is the girl? Oh, Sally. Remember when Sally came in for an hour? God. I feel like it's going to be a Sally situation.
Longer than that. She'll last longer than that.
Well, almost everyone will.
I will give Zach this. He has ended up with...
It's a very good
the 4 women, I think... I don't know if stable is the right word, but like the most normal, stable... chance of having a long-term relationship with women.
I agree with Katie, definitely. I agree with Ariel for sure. Charity and Gabby, I'm not sure I agree as much. I mean, once again, Charity like is just sobbing over being cheated on.
Oh, I mean, yeah, no, for sure. But I'm saying compared to the rest of the bunch, I think they are the most. I think they're all here for a serious relationship. I think they're all they can all communicate feelings. I think they all have careers. Like,
Yeah.
I think he has a good 4.
I like Gabby. I thought it was interesting how she was talking a lot about her ADHD this week. And by a lot, I mean, she mentioned it, but it hadn't come up before. And then she also referenced, like, all they can do is see a therapist and a psychiatrist. And I was like, good for her. She's taking her mental health and her behavioral needs very seriously. But I wonder how Zach's going to feel about, did she tell him about that? I think she did, right? Or but I mostly remember her talking to the women about it.
Yes, she did tell him. And I was just talking to our producer, Ashleigh, about this. And she made a great point. She's like, I think that is part of the reason why Zach liked her, because she had an issue and she solved it and was fine all in front of him within 2 minutes.
That's
and
a great
Zach
point.
was like, yep, perfect. This is what I like. Not you had an emotion, you fixed it, and we're all good, and you handled it, you wrapped it all up in a bow. No drama. You get the group date rose.
Probably felt good for her too. She's like, I feel like she's like happy to handle her own shit. I really like Gabby. And also Zach was like, great, I don't have to be involved in fixing this problem.
I really like Gabby. I really hope Brooklyn is Bachelorette.
She'd be really fun.
If it's someone out of this group.
She'd be fun and wacky. I'm into it too.
I was just watching like clips on TikTok and her being like, if the shoe fits, then lace that bitch up. Like that one moment alone, I'm like, Bachelorette.
I know she has so many like countryisms and the way she's talking about her grandfather and his dirt bike. And I can't believe we haven't talked about her like actual date. Like, I mean, I'm
probably avoiding it. It makes me nauseous to think about.
Top question I have for you. Were those that couple that was playing chess? Were those actors?
Yes.
I was like, why is the theme of this season retired date crashers? Like, this is not the first time it's happened. It's not the first time it happened at a spa. It's really weird. It's like, why
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
I don't know. I told you this before we got on. Jumping out of a plane, I used to really want to do that. Now that I have kids, I don't really want to anymore. Actually, I don't. Not a part of me wants to anymore. But I used to really want to. I think I would say yes to most dates. And I think you kind of have to say yes.
Yeah.
Or you're going home.
It's like a preset menu. It's like, this is what you're being served. Deal with it.
There is not a world where I'm stepping foot in that bath.
What if you were like able to wear Tevas?
I don't even know what that is. What's that?
Like Tevas, like sandals that are strapped onto your feet, so you'd be wearing them the whole time?
No. I would get in the pool if they put me in, you know those bubbles at parties where they have mermaids in and they're floating on top of the pool? I would get in one of those. I am not submerging in that water. Hot water, and it's probably not even that hot. Lukewarm water where there's hundreds of people getting in and out a day. I don't know what the chlorine levels are. You're also in Europe where hair is accepted. The amount of body hair floating in that water a day. Oh my, that
didn't even occur to me. I don't know why that would not be. I don't think that's like unacceptable to say. I also not even sure that's true though. Like, I think that's like one of your own projections and fears. Also, people aren't like universally like waxed or shaven in America.
I know, but I just feel like it's more of a thing here. Like so many people get laser here. I've just never
huge, obviously.
Waxing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Waxing, sugaring, laser. Like it women in America definitely, I feel like, are more hairless. And then I don't feel like being hairless in other countries is a thing. Like, I don't even know why, like for men, I don't know why it's a thing here. It doesn't bother me as much.
Me neither.
But I feel like it's more of a thing.
On Love Island, those men are shaving a lot.
Yeah, but they also like make fun of them a little bit for it. In America, that wouldn't even be it would not be a talking point.
It's true.
It'd be like, of course you're hairless.
I don't really get it either. I don't have a problem with it, but I just think that's like a funny thing for you to be really worried about with this pool. This episode is brought to you by eBay Authenticity Guarantee. eBay knows that when it comes to jewelry, authenticity is the real gem. When you see the blue check mark that says Authenticity Guarantee, it means your next piece will be carefully inspired by jewelry experts and will always be worth its weight in gold. Whether you're looking to make a statement or build the perfect everyday look, eBay is making sure you get the real deal. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can trust that jaw-dropping piece will always arrive jaw-droppingly real. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms. This episode is brought to you by Visible. Maybe you've already let your New Year's resolution slip. We all have, but you can still make a 2 year's resolution with Visible. Right now, you can get a one-line wireless plan from Visible for just $20 per month for 24 months. 24 months is basically 4 Bachelor seasons. That could be 4 engagements, 4 broken engagements. So many other couples we didn't see coming. It's really an eternity in Bachelor Nation. And that's unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon with no annual contracts. Switch now at Visible.com and use the code VISIBLE24. Don't miss out. Offer ends January 31st. New members only. Promotional rate with service on the Visible plan. For additional terms and network management practices, see Visible.com.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You might say all kinds of stuff when things go wrong, but these are the words you really need to remember. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. They've got options to fit your unique insurance needs, meaning you can talk to your agent to choose the coverage you need. Have coverage options to protect the things you value most. File a claim right on the State Farm mobile app and even reach a real person when you need to talk to someone. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
So I went to a spa last week. It was not like a giant public spa. I did not go in the hot tub because I thought it was kind of gross, but I did go in the plunge pool after the steam room. And my suit was like really stiff after it dried because there was so much chlorine in the water. It's like...
Right. That's a good sign.
I know. But do you think this bath doesn't have any chlorine?
Not enough. I don't think there's enough chlorine in the world.
It just was really, really big. I don't like pools in general.
It was really big, and it wasn't super duper crowded, but I assume also like they're filming there. They're going to make sure that there's like room for them to move around. And like you could even hear the audio was tough with just the few people that were there. So they had to have really cleared it out for them.
Yeah.
It's the whole premise behind it. A public bath is disgusting. A bath in general. If you take a bath when you get out, ugh. Like it's gross. You want to be sitting in other people's dirt? No, thank you. Also,
do you ever take a bubble bath at home?
Rarely.
Just curious about like what kind of water you do want to be submerged in, because so far all I've really gotten from you and honestly almost 2 years of now doing this with you is like occasionally a pool that you know is extremely clean and unused by anyone else. Like there's no body of water I think that you're particularly interested in, Callie. You don't like being submerged in water.
I absolutely love showers.
Okay, that's different.
But even showers don't necessarily like public showers unless I have like sandals.
Yeah, of course.
Big, huge public pools I'm fine with. Public hot tubs are an app. If it's huge, it has to be huge and not crowded. And very
Is
clean.
the problem people or water? Because the running theme here is not crowded.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it's like Disney to me is like, thinking of going to Disney makes me like get hives. But if you told me I was going to Disney and the park was shut down, there wasn't a lot of people there, I'd probably be fine.
Are you a shut-in?
I think it's gotten worse post-COVID, for sure. But there's just so many germs. And like, I think I have to know what I'm getting into. Like, I go to basketball games all the time. There's thousands of people there, right?
Sure.
But I have my seat. No one is bumping into me in my seat.
Clothes on? Yeah.
Clothes on. For the most part, like, I'm not sitting next to someone who's wearing like a tank top and sweating and their sweat is dripping on me. Like, it has to be a controlled situation.
My biggest problem with the date was the date crashers. I was just like, how many times?
That was your biggest problem with the date? That was probably the part that bothered me least.
Do I want to go in that pool? Probably not. But am I revolted by it? No, I'm not.
So you're getting in. If you're in Brooklyn and that's the date, you're like, oh my God, I'm so excited. That's what you're saying.
I think I would get in, yeah. I don't know. I guess like confronted with it seems more disgusting. Have you ever been to the Dead Sea?
No. I think I would do that.
The Dead Sea water is fucking disgusting. It's very underrated, disgusting. People don't talk about it. It's oily.
Maybe I wouldn't do it.
So salty. It's oily and it's hot. It's like, ugh, it stings. I don't think you would like that.
I could do it probably if there weren't a lot of people around me.
It's also really clean though, because it's like natural and salinity so high.
Yeah, so I think I could do it as long as it wasn't like packed.
I wouldn't want to go in that pool, but I would. I do like the outdoor hot tub when it's like chilly or whatever and the water's really warm. It's like a cool feeling.
With multiple people that you don't know.
No, I'm not like crazy about that part, but I'm not disgusted by it.
Okay. Their outdoor hot tub, first of all, is like propped up out of nowhere. And we know the water is not hot. But I could do that if it was just me and my husband or my boyfriend or whatever. Yeah, I could do it if it's just us two. And I know the water hasn't just been sitting there with multiple people getting in and out. I can do that. Even in a hotel, maybe, depending on the cleanliness of the hotel. If the hotel is super, super clean and no one can get in and out of the hot tub but my husband and I can get in.
Where do you stand on a steam room? I love a steam room.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Okay, because you're like in a towel and a suit and like...
Also, you're not really like, you put your towel down, like a fresh towel down. You're sitting on that. You're not sitting on a bare bench.
You're not, yeah.
Would I want to get in this packed steam room? No.
Yeah, I mean, that also doesn't sound relaxing. Also, steam rooms are creepy because like you don't know who else is there. You can't always see. It's like... But I love it. I love a steam. I love a schwitz. Feels great. I prefer sauna to steam though. I'll say that. Really? That's too hot for me. I prefer the steam. And I like to like breathe it in. I just did both of these things. So it's fresh on my mind.
I was going to say that I think also my recent literature says that saunas are better for you. So I think that's the other preference.
Really? Why?
I don't know. Infrared saunas, like there's just like so many extra health benefits. So I think that's why I'm like, then I guess like, if it's close, then I'm going to go sauna.
Okay. All right, fine. Steam room for me, sauna for you. Once again, we don't agree. It's great. It actually is good though. But anyway, now on to the final four. Gabby. Oh, we didn't talk about Greer. Gabby, Katie.
Do we need to? What is there to say?
Why did she think she was getting more time? I know they needed closure, but like, did she really think she was getting more time?
Yeah, it did seem like it. She was really excited. I also was just like, he doesn't like you.
He never did.
When I remember last week, you were like, Anne Greer. And I was like, she's not coming back. In my mind, she's already gone. Yeah, I thought from the previews of next week, like she was coming back. Like, I'm back. Not back from COVID. Like I thought she was coming back from being eliminated. But, still stands the same. She's not. She's gone.
It must have been a tough day. He broke up with Brooklyn and Greer on the same day. I think it kind of sucks for Brooklyn also that they made him do that morning. I guess he had already decided. Yeah. It wasn't like up for debate. So they just sort of like, okay, here's the filming window. Take care of it, Zach. It's handled. He had to do an Olivia Pope. Handle it quickly.
I mean, I don't think he really cared that much about sending Greer home. I do think that he hated sending Brooklyn home.
He seemed upset about that.
Even though I do think it was the right decision.
I think so too.
With Brooklyn. I think it was the right decision, but I think, it just sucks to like hurt someone's feelings that you think is a good person.
I think him and Katie really seem like a match. So everyone else is just like, you're just along for the ride.
I agree.
On that note, can we talk about Love Island now?
Yes.
Players. I haven't.
Wait, I need to ask you.
Okay.
This is your first recoupling.
After Casa, yeah.
Is it not wild the emotion you feel while watching?
I spoiled it a little bit for myself by accident. So I knew one of them.
Yeah.
I knew that. Spoiler alert. This is, by the way, if you're not up to date on Love Island through episode like 47, basically through, I think it's like 47. I don't want to say what happened, but whatever. If you're not up to date, just come back later. I knew that Ron and Lana were getting back together, so I knew about that.
Okay.
But I didn't know about anything else.
But even Ron and Lana, which we could have assumed that they were going to get back together anyways from watching the previous episodes.
Yeah.
Isn't it so nice though? And I do not like Ron. But it's so nice to see them see each other standing there single. Like,
they're so happy.
It like warms your heart.
Yeah.
To see it.
I gotta say, the show just really warms my heart. Like, really makes me feel good. It's one of the only reality shows where the people are having fun for the most part and like are able to enjoy themselves. And I don't know, Ellie, when she came out, was like talked about like how stressful it was and all of like her and like how it took a toll on her mental health. But the last couple of episodes, there's been drama, but the people just seem like they love each other and like they've like formed like really beautiful friendships.
Relationships. Yeah. I think it just makes you feel so many things. Like the spectrum is wide. I couldn't have been more furious at Tanya.
Tanya, I just fucking don't understand. We'll come back to that. I just need to say, I have not experienced so much secondhand joy like in years as I did while watching Jesse and Will get back together, and with Lana helping Will. It was like, especially the Lana just sort of like taking the charge and like making it happen. I just thought was so sweet and kind, and like they were also like really making the most of being on television. I was like, thank you. This is the kind of content I want. And I fucking loved it. And like, I honestly, it like made me happier than almost anything else in a long time, which maybe is a referendum on my life, but here we are.
I was telling you before we hopped on that there was 2 people that were on my like bottom 4 list of this group of people. And this past episode, like they just skyrocketed. Lana being one of them. Lana helping Will, how genuinely happy she was to help Will.
It was so sweet.
And make Jesse happy was the nicest. Like it was just amazing to watch. So fun to watch.
So beautiful. I feel like I'm gonna cry. It was so sweet.
It was so sweet. The idea was sweet. Seeing how happy Jesse was, the vein in her forehead was popping. Like everything was amazing. And for how much shit Shaq has gotten for being the respectability police, right?
Yeah.
And it has annoyed me at times. On the flip side, these women have not called each other out for any of their bullshit. Any of it. They act like the biggest hypocrites of all time. And when Tanya was like, Shaq needs to prove himself to me that he's changed and blah, 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 blah. And Lana was like, okay, well, playing devil advocate, you're on the wrong. I was like, thank you. Thank you, Lana. Thank you for calling it out.
I love
Why
Lana.
is anyone concerned with Tanya right now?
Shaq has handled himself so well in the face of this, to quote him, utter disrespect. She didn't say utter. I'm adding that. He just like the fact that he's held it together. Also mended fences with Ron, seemingly. Like they're totally fine now. Mm-hmm. He seems like he's rooting for all of the couples and like he's just kind of like doing his thing. Makes me really respect him. And
also,
great stuff.
He hasn't egged on any of the boys. Like he's totally like, even after the recoupling, he went over to Jesse and was like, I promise you, he's been like going through it the past couple of days. Like he likes you so much. It would be so easy for someone that's like heartbroken and bitter after what happened to him and how embarrassing it was for him to just be like, yeah, I didn't agree with anything that Will was doing, blah, 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 blah. You would think that's how he would act based on what we've seen so far. And he could not be acting better, which Ron even pointed out. He was like, I'm going to be honest. The way you have been, it's like unimaginable how great you've been and how you've handled this. And I'm like, yeah, it's shocking, but he's been nice to everyone. He even like made it a point to go make sure him and Martin, like, it's not you. I'm not mad at you. Like, we're good. I don't want this to be awkward. He's been great.
It's crazy how they just like, he and Tanya just like didn't talk for a few days when they're back in the villa. Like, how do you avoid each other like that? It's nuts. The person I hate the absolute most is Liv. I mean, Liv just sucks.
Liv.
I don't get it. Sanam seems like a really nice woman. I like her a lot.
Oh my God, so sweet. So sweet. And she keeps trying to like make things as good as possible for her and Kai. So the other person that came up to me that was in the bottom 4 was Kai. Kai was in the bottom 4 mostly because I was just like, you bring nothing to the table. You're boring. You don't wear chapstick. There's a lot of issues there.
I find him physically awkward, gawky. I found him attractive at first, and now I've gotten the edge.
The more you get to know him. Yeah. But this episode, when him and Sanam are talking and he's hearing what she's saying, I'm just so happy. He's like, yeah, no, I'm not apologizing to Liv. I'm not even mad at her. I have no beef with her at all. Her being mad at me and coming at me and saying I'm fake, that's the problem. We both cracked on. Why are you pissed?
I know. I don't know. Liv is just really just really selfish. Like she makes everything about like her lingering. Like she did this with Tom. Like Kai is the new Tom, basically. Like there's just something still there, but he won't admit to it. Like with Tom, maybe there was. Kai's like, no, I'm good. I've moved on.
No, Kai has not shown any, like with Tom, you did see like a little bit of like, yeah, maybe he is still into her. Kai has not shown me anything that makes me believe he's still into Liv. I also think it's wild for someone to be like, he's clearly still into me.
Yeah, I know.
Like, is that not a wild thing to say? Why do you think that? You're not that great, Liv.
I can't stand her. One thing that was really funny when Lana was orchestrating the like display for Jesse, she was like, Olivia's an actress. And I was like, she is? Okay.
Well, it seems like it. It seems like it. Also, if you're Maxwell, is that his name? Max?
Yeah, Maxwell.
I would have the ick. The way Liv is acting would give me the ick. When they were sitting there and she was just shitting on every couple, like she's like, it shouldn't be that easy. It should be harder. Da, 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 da. I'm just like, shut up. Shut up. Why are you so miserable? And I've come to the conclusion that like, you just so want Tom.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't? Tom's really cute. He's great.
And, Tom had a week where it wasn't looking good for Tom.
The poem?
Overall,
the poem is my
so
public
cute.
bath. Oh my God, no. The poem is my public bath.
I thought, what I wanted? No. Did I think it was so cute? He seemed really into it. Like how excited he was about it made it so cute to me. Also, like, I'm sure Tom has never had to put this much work into this.
Absolutely not. He's so handsome. He's a footballer. He's never had to do this.
So I feel like how excited he was. He seems to really like Sammy.
I also like what he likes about her. That's one of the other things that's very sweet is like how why people, like the reasons they identify for what they like about each other is like also very nice. And it's Mina Kimes pointed out to me that like poshness does not play on Love Island. And it's such a good point.
No. Because, it goes against you.
Yeah. And he was like, because Tom was also saying how he really liked Sammy's Cockney accent. And I thought that was really cute.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I like all the couples. Also, one thing I wanted to ask you, where are you at with Claudia? We were like not sure about her last week, gotten some more time. I'll just tell you, I'm a fan. I think she seems like a nice, easygoing girl.
I'm in the middle. I don't really feel strongly one way or the other. I think it's weird that she's even remotely upset with Casey. Like, you guys had known each other for 12 hours. Stop it. No, you can do whatever. You can do whatever.
So the Casa Amor girls were not pretty, and the Casa Amor boys were not handsome, and like none of them were particularly redeeming. And I don't really like Martin or Maxwell. Like, are they always this like second tier? Is it always this stacked against them?
It usually is stacked against them, but usually there are better looking people, and then one or two may stick. But it is really hard to stick because the whole entire house is against you when you go back in there.
Right.
So you have to really like someone. So like Sanam, for example, I think she's going to stick. I think they're going to get eliminated because people vote them out or whatever. But like, they seem to actually really like each other to me.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But she seems miserable. Like everyone hates them.
Yeah, and like she has no friends there. As the only, at least Max and Martin have each other, but I really don't like them. I mean, Tanya is just inexplicable and like honestly mean. Like it's not obviously not the same, but it's like sort of a Sandoval like spectrum move. I'm just like, this is like really mean to a really nice person.
I also disagree on the Martin thing. I like Martin because he doesn't seem like he wants to put up with it at all.
No, he doesn't.
And he's really the only one being like, what the fuck?
He's like, tell me what's going on
even
here.
Even after the recoupling, he was like, I mean, you made me look like an absolute mug. And she was like, what do you mean? He's like, you mean when I was standing up there with you and you were begging for him to give you another chance and said I was a speed bump? Like, when that happened, I was just like, oh my God, this is so awkward. And I didn't, most of the time, like, those people aren't going to say anything because they're so happy to be in the house. And Martin was like, no, yeah, that was wild how you handled that.
I know. And it really was. It's like, she's putting everyone in a bad position. These women are much more selfish than the men, which I guess like is surprising to me. I don't even know why, but like they just creating drama like that to like test Shaq because you're annoyed with him is just like short-sighted and stupid.
Mine is Jessie, Lana. Wasn't there one other?
I think Sammy's pretty.
Like what? Oh, Sammy. Yeah, when Kai was like, all these people are fucking hypocrites. And he's like, except for Jessie, Lana, and Sammy. I was like, correct. Correct, yeah. Kai. Thank you for calling it out.
It's so true. It really is true. Lana's so sweet. I love her. Do you think her and Ron are going to win?
No.
Do you think Jessie and Will are going to win? Will is the star. He's the unabashed star.
Oh my God. I mean, he's just so good. I love Will so much.
Me too.
The recoupling was rough for Will.
Yeah. But he really redeemed himself. Although
I think Will thought it was going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
But then after his girl, Layla, I think that Will thought it was going to be bad. Obviously, he knew he had done some fucked up things. But the very first recoupling was, who went first?
I think it was Casey. Yeah.
And Layla like laid into Casey about, and right when that happened, Will was like, oh, fuck, this is going to be really bad. Because in the past, like probably not, maybe season 5 was the last time. Season 5, they didn't let the people talk. You didn't get to see anything.
Really?
You didn't know what happened. Yeah. And then all of a sudden in season 6, they started like bringing everybody out, asking questions, letting people take, like, there was one really bad thing that happened in season 7. No, season 6, 7. One of them, where the girl took the other girl on a date, kind of how they did that like little group date together. Mm-hmm. It was just like a one-on-one, like, let me tell you everything that your man did and said to me. That started more recently. So I'm sure Will was like, I'm not sure which direction they're going to go. And then right when Maya was like, were you faithful? And Layla took that opportunity to go in. He was like, great, I'm chopped liver. This is going to be horrible.
I thought the most ridiculous thing from the recoupling that I was just like, this is bullshit, was the like Casey saying I'm sorry to Cynthia and that being used against him. It's just like, he should say I'm sorry. He hurt her feelings and he fucked up.
Which he said when Claudia brought it up and was like, you were sitting there mouthing. He was like, because I was sorry. What do you mean? I didn't want to hurt anybody.
Also, he wasn't
like,
trying to hide it. What? It wasn't like he was trying to like do it.
I don't think he was like
see.
waiting. No, yeah, I don't think he was like waiting for her to put her head down and be like he was like, I'm so sorry I hurt you. This was a tough decision.
Yeah.
I think it'd be worse if he just acted like it was nothing.
I know. And so like, at least he's alive. You can tell he's a human. He's paying attention.
Yeah. I was just like, this is a weird thing to be mad about. But how Cynthia described it to her, I can understand why Claudia thought it was kind of like oh, he was trying to like talk secretly behind my back.
I think it's weird that Sanam doesn't like, they don't like go to her to refute or confirm things more.
They did a little bit, but not enough.
Yeah.
It also seemed like Sanam was not trying to.
She doesn't want to be involved.
Really, no, it doesn't seem like she wants to get into the drama. I haven't watched today's episode. You have. When is movie night? Is it previews for next episode?
It's in 2 episodes, I think.
Okay.
So it'll be on Wednesday.
I can't wait. Cannot wait. And I'm hoping this happens. You never know what clips they're going to take, but I hope they take the clip of Ron telling Tom to stay with Lydia.
Yeah.
Because him being like, absolutely no, was not egging him on, blah, 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 blah. It's 100% what you did. And it made me like Tom even more for being like, I'm not playing like a game. Like if I'm going to get eliminated, I'm going to get eliminated. But like, I want Sammy. So why would I bring Lydia into this?
Ron's just trying to win, right? Like that's what he's doing?
100%. 100%. I don't believe Ron for a fucking second. Don't believe him.
I hope, and I like him. I know it's a personality flaw of mine, but I like him. I own it. I know it's a problem, but I love him and Lana, and I weirdly like him. I fall for that kind of hubris. It's terrible.
I feel like you like him because you like Lana. Like,
yeah, and I like them happy together. I think that's the problem that a lot of people have. People are so happy that Lana is getting her like fairy tale, but it's not a fairy tale because he's a douchebag. And if there were any sort of hot girls in Casa, he would have been out. He would have 100% turned his head. Can't convince me otherwise. If Maya Jama was in Casa more, so Ron beautiful. Is cracking the fuck on. Please believe that. Maya has so much like gravitas. Like she's great. I love her.
But I hope that they choose that clip and it plays.
Well, we'll find out in 2 days' time.
Wait, if you have to choose a couple to win, you're choosing Lon and Rana? Lon and Rana. Ron and Lana.
Well, what is winning? Just like the couple you are the most excited about that you want to have $50,000?
Yeah.
I think I choose Will and Jesse. But
I don't think this couple is going to win, but I would love Tom and Sammy to win.
They're really sweet. Yeah, I like them too. I just feel like Will and Jesse, I don't know. She's so emotional and I just like fucking love him so much. But I would be happy. Will. I love Will too. I would be happy with any of the 3 that you just listed.
I think that Tom won. First of all, like that conversation with Ron said a lot to me because like a lot of guys would be like, yeah, that does make sense. And him being like, yeah, no, I like Sammy. And if I have to go home, I have to go home.
I love Tom. I also love that Tom and Will are so tight. Like that's so cute too.
Well, I also think that Will might be tight with everyone.
Yeah. But I think him and Tom seem to gravitate towards each other and like are often in bed together. And like, I don't know. It's very sweet.
But that moment for me was big for Tom. I also think that him and Sammy are the most attractive people on both sides of the villa.
Yeah.
And I think that Casa / bombshells, everything, it probably would be the toughest for both of them. And it seems like they're just both continually choosing each other. And doesn't seem like either one of them is playing a game. Like, seems like they're just like, I think I like him. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
They're
like,
just
Ron
boring,
clearly
I
wants
guess.
to win.
Yeah.
Liv clearly wants to win. Like, there's people you can see are like doing that.
I just think it's funny that they want to win so badly. Because I'm just like, why? Like, it's not no money, but like.
Usually, obviously, the winners stay on the longest. Winners usually get the most followers at the end of it.
Right.
Like, you're playing more for like playing. You're in it more for like the clout of being the winners of Love Island than anything else.
I think that the finale. So I think there's 2 more weeks.
It has to be
right?
soon for
it's really
the
soon.
UK, right?
Yeah, I'm really worried about getting spoiled, so I'm just gonna have to try really hard not to. I consume so much British media, like internet, television. It's gonna be really hard.
I will tell you this:
the
last week sucks.
It's boring.
Yeah, just like they show one-on-one dates, and you're just kind of like, I don't really care. Like you want.
I know. I'm in it for the friendships.
Yeah, like the first 50 episodes are great, and then like the last 4, you're kind of just like, whatever. Just tell me who wins.
The statement you just said is so absurd. The first 50 episodes.
I mean, what episode? You said we're on episode 47?
Yeah. We
probably have a good 10 more episodes left.
Awesome. I'm not ready to move on. I'm not ready to give it up. All right, everybody. I'll be back on Thursday with Jared Freed talking Batch. Callie and I'll be back next week. I'll be on a high just thinking about Lana and Will and Jesse and how happy that all made me. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks to our producer, Ashleigh Smith. We'll be back next week.